Welcome ladies and gents back to Perak, and I am not condescending enough of a YouTuber to tell you, well, okay fine, we're in the lost world of Tambun ahead of today's game against Perak, and we have a few games to catch up on, so without further ado, let's head on into Football Manager, shall we? After picking up a 3-1 victory last time out in Penang, we headed home for a trio of home games, and well, the first one of those was at home to Tam Pines. Now that of course was in the Asian Confederation Cup, and well, we had a solid result. As you can see, rather dominant, 28 shots to their 1. 12 shots on target is a little bit disappointing, but you can't really argue with a 5.69 XG, sorry. We were the better side by a long way, getting a goal on the 15th minute through a penalty that Sumaria, I believe, won and then put away himself, and Zamri got the second to win it. Nice and simply 2-0. Now, Bunch Green across the board. Ong was a little bit disappointing on his 6.6, but really, there wasn't many bad players in this one. Next up, we took on Filder in the FA Cup, and well, they put up a triumphant attempt in that first game, didn't they, at their place, only beating them 1-0, I believe, in that one. Well, they showed the true colours when they came to us. 5-1 victory in this one. As you can see, I put out our main team, and well, they quite frankly dominated them. Hakim getting a 9.5, but going one better, Cabrera, he had an amazing game on a 9.6, grabbing himself a brace in this one. So first of all, Samari got a goal on the 5th minute, Cabrera got one on the 13th minute assisted by Hakim. We then have Hijacker who scored on the 24th, Cabrera grabbed himself a brace on the 38th, and then Hakim grabbed himself a goal on the 63rd. And rounding out this trio of home headers was a rather disappointing game. I know we picked up the 1-0 victory in this one, but we was versing PJ City, and to give you some context, they are bottom of the table, tied bottom of the table to be fair, because the team just above them has a similar record, both on 0 wins, only 2 draws and 6 losses. So although we held them to absolutely 0 shots, and we got 28 off and 12 of them on target with a 4.54 XG to be fair. A 1-0 penalty win, it doesn't feel quite right. It feels rather disappointing. As you can see again, Ong had a rough game in this one, much like the very first game. Safari came on and only got 6.5 as well. Yes, there's green across the board, but again, we definitely could have done a lot better. Okay, so I was going to address this over in the notebook in just a second, but I thought, you know what, let's just do it live on the episode, shall we? So, I had a chat with Jordan Imbila earlier today. His name really doesn't stick in my brain, and the player wants to discuss the number of matches he is starting. Now, Jordan Imbila is a left back slash centre back. He is Ghanaian though, that's the main problem. He's 3-star, 3.5-star potential. Very good player, just he's Ghanaian, so we struggle to put him in because we of course have a foreign player limit. And currently he's only started 2 off the bench in the Asian Confederation Cup. Now I should probably start him as a starter in the Asian Confederation Cup, get him linking up with our other centre back. It's a tough one, it really is a tough one. I don't want to lose him. I also don't want to force him into the team. He was getting a 6.9 over at Selangor. I can understand why he's upset. How is our other centre-back doing? How is Laura doing, for example? Laura is Australian, he's 34. Because if you can come in and replace Laura is having a good season. Maybe I offer to loan him out. I don't know what I want to do with Imbala, because I don't want to let him go back to another club in our division. So let's discuss this. Let's see what he specifically wants. I'm not starting enough to be considered a regular in the team, and my career is stagnating as a result. I think that's reasonable. I need you to ensure that changes. So I think your consent's fair. You aren't playing regular. I do think they're fair, but I'm not going to promise anything. So I'll try and ensure your importance in the team. I can't make a guarantee to give you more minutes off the bench. I'll start you in cup competitions. I won't be able to give you... You know what? I'll start you in cup competitions, but you're going to have to impress me in those games. Yeah. He's offended. I'm not surprised, to be fair. He is a starter. for a top club at this level anyways. That's not good enough. We all know that the cups are just a chance to rest the first team these days. That's a lie. I use the first team pretty much in all competitions anyway. Whether it's here or at another club, I need a greater amount of playing time at this stage of my career. We're better if you are prepared to accept... No, he's not going to do that. Better if you're prepared to accept... No. Better if you're prepared to accept... No. I don't want to cause problems, so I'll play you more often. No. I am your manager. If this is how you feel, it's probably best that you leave, really. I'll look to find a new club for you at the earliest opportunity. I'm not happy about this, but I have no intention of leaving. Bit confusing. Okay, fine. I won't tell you. You'll sit on my bench. Unhappy. Throwing a strop that you don't get to play, but you also don't want to leave to actually go play. So, yeah, that's his situation. Let's go have a little bit of a look at some more news then. And so, ladies and gents, we head here into the notebook to round out today's news segment of this episode. And first of all, Johor DT's Tuck has decided he's going to retire. So, not going to affect us, of course, because we'll be heading on elsewhere. And I'm personally going to be taking a little bit of a break, heading on holiday. Also, just having a little bit of rest from doing daily uploads for like 2.5 years now. So, that's not going to happen for another month or so, but just a little heads up, that will be coming in the future. And well, this tuck isn't going to affect us, even when we do eventually return to the Bingo Blitz series. Now, on top of that, Kalonda is to miss the FA Cup semi-final through suspension. Yeah, both our centre-backs ended up with yellow cards over in that FA Cup game. I ended up subbing the others off just so they couldn't get suspended, because I didn't want both of our centre-backs being suspended for that game. It does mean the mopey guy on the bench, Jordan, can come on, I guess. I guess we might give him a game, although it's Kalonda who's got the suspension, so we might need to use our Malaysian guy. He's going to be extra annoyed. Oh well, that is not our problem, is it? So, Corbin Ong also picked up a bit of a knock in that Penang game, as you've seen from the other games. Well, he was okay enough to carry on playing, so 1 to 2 days of rest for his bruised ankle, and then back to work for him. But enough rambling from me, let's head on over to pitch side and let's crack on with today's game. Just kidding, ladies and gents, we've got a bunch of awards before we hop into today's game. So as you can see, Hakim has scooped up the Malaysian Super League Player of the Month award. Now, I am going to go congratulate him on that. I'll do it separate. Don't have to sit around and wait for us to do that, because we've got a few to go through right now. I am, of course, the Manager of the Month, because I have a 100% win record. And, well, the next guy has a 100% win record, and the guy after him has won 2 out of 3 games. Okay. So, that is that. Ali is pleased as Tomlinson wins Super League Manager of the Month and the Super League Team of the Month. How many players do we have? We have Krasniki in central midfield, Samara on the right, and Hakim up front. Not too shabby, I would argue, that we could probably have more than 3 in the team, but let's finally head on over to that stadium. No more pausing for other stuff. So, I'll see you over there in just a second. Okay, ladies and gents, as you can see, we have another challenger in the title race. Yes, Pahang has moved up in second place. We are on 20. Narrowly behind us is Pahang on 19, and Kadir is still on 19 as well. Also, in touching distance is Sembilan on 16, and Selangor is on 15, only 5 away. But I would say 6 and below, probably not in the race. It's probably down to us 5 now. We are getting into that midway point of the season. It is, of course, only a 22 game season, because, well, there's 12 teams in the league, 2 games against each team, 22 games. Pretty easy maths, as you can see the other couple of games going on here today. But enough rambling, let's head on inside. Let's apply those opposition instructions. It's a very good pitch condition here today. Rather disappointing crowd though, as we take on 11th place Perak. They've got 4,413 tickets sold out of 42,500 capacity. It's a breezy 33 degrees. Unfortunately, there is no breeze in here, and it does feel about the 33 degrees, although it's technically not, so 25.5, but it really does feel hot in here right now. Anyways, as you can see, we are probably going for the usual suspects. I'll have a little check over, see if there's anyone else floating about. Ayimbalan, maybe we could put him on so he stops whining so much. Or maybe we'll just keep going with Lowry. Lowry is a yellow card away from a suspension, so maybe we'll just wait till he gets his suspension, then he can come in and play. So, without further ado, our team for today is Malias in goal, the back line of Ong, Lowry, Kalonda and Mauricio. On the wings is Asri and Sumara. In between Krasniki, our cams are of course Cabrera and Yakwa, with Hakim up front bench consisting of Biden, Elstal, Ishak, I really do need to take his middle name out because I keep wanting to say it, Safari, Mansour, Suhaimi and Zamri. So let's submit that team. Okay, so it's time for our big team talk. How are we going to go about this? Well, we are versing 11th in the league, so we are simply going to be... you know what? Do I want to motivate them? We're on a good run right now. You know what? No, we are going to be assertive. I wanted to pick up where you was last time out. That's got a couple of them nervous, but you know what? A little bit of nerves doesn't hurt anyone. Might make them play just that little bit better. Anyways, we are up to 21 points now, of course, because it's already added on the point. This is our game in hand, so an opportunity to build a gap on Pahang. We have a 2-point gap with this draw. We can make it 4, though, if we can pick up a victory here today. So, Mauricio throws it into Agyakwa, gets it back over to Krasniki. He plays it back to Mauricio. Both of these are getting pressured, though. Finally, over to Agyakwa. He's going to go cross field to Asri. Playing space on this left side. Whips one in. Unfortunately, not anywhere near anyone, but Mauricio will collect the header as it's nodded out. Mauricio is going to go with this one inside to Krasniki. Ball over the top. This time, Ong's going to run onto it. He whips it in first time. Back post again. Nowhere near anyone, but the header away is poor yet again. Samaria. He plays it over to Mauricio. Mauricio over to Krasniki. Triangles up to Samaria. He whips it across. Finally, a ball to one of our players. It goes to Cabrera. Hits the post, but he follows up his own shot and pokes it past the goalkeeper. He had absolutely no chance. It bounced to the opposite side of the goal. He was laying on the floor, and Cabrera just tap it in. Give it a little tippity tap. Tap, tap, Peru, and it's in the hole. Yes, back of the net for Cabrera. We don't need to see that again. That's really not a highlight worth watching again. A guy just tapping it in. We don't need to see that again. We all saw it the first time. If you want to see it again, it's a YouTube video. Rewind just a little bit. Have another look at it. But Rashid pulls it back for Sam Bang. Sam Bang, can he be a banger in this game? Tries to come down left-hand side. Instead, plays it back to Geesey. Geesey's going to go inside to Kahazli. Kahazli to Kissimbo. Kissimbo from range hits the post. Oh, it's come back out. How did he miss that? It was a sitter. Perak had the perfect opportunity there to grab an equaliser. And the player missed the target by an absolute mile. That was a pathetic shot. Yong though, Yong trying to make up for their mistake. Ball through to Kissimbo. Kissimbo is rather dangerous, as we saw. Cracked one off the post and almost allowed his teammate to score. This time hits side netting, doesn't bounce back out. Don't have to worry about that. PJ City, by the way, 1-0 down to Penang. Penang is currently down in 7th place, but that, well, I'll say they were probably in 8th place, but now they've moved up to 7th. So, congratulations to them. They're able to beat a team that hasn't got a win so far this season. Right now, though, they've not got a shot on target. 3 in total, or technically they hit the post. Anyways, 8 of ours have been 8 in total, 4 of ours on target. We do need to do things just a little bit better. Things are going well, but I know you're capable of better, lads. Mauricio, 6.6. Sadly, we don't have someone to replace him. Definitely the next thing I'm going to do in the transfer market, Agyakwa on a 6.6. Also, I haven't paid attention to when our next transfer market is. I should probably check that one because, of course, we have to draw our balls. And it's probably pretty darn soon because, well, we've played 9 of our games. And like I said, 22-game season. We must be coming up to that transfer market time rather shortly. But it's ball up to Hakim right now. Ball over to Samara. Samara tries a through ball. It was a decent one. Hakim, can he get onto the end of it? He does. Oh, dirty boy. Ref, yellow? At least a yellow. Surely Mustafa gets a card for that. No, Mustafa did not get a single card for that challenge. Salim Mustafa, the only thing he gets is to give up this penalty. But can Samara put it away? No. Samara, that was poor. Really poor. Plays it back out to Ong though. Ong whips it in back post. Hakim has to chase it. It was a rather poor cross. Mauricio now, what can he do with this opportunity on the right hand side? Whips it in. Tamara, free head. Well, I say free head. It was pressured a little bit late on. Tamara, man. That was a great opportunity to get a second goal, take the pressure off. Hijacker on a 6-5, probably the next person to get substituted off. Samara, though, coming down this right-hand side. Can he make up for his poor penalty as he delivers a cross from this right-hand side? Whips it in. Cabrera! Oh, he's cracked one off the crossbar. Okay, Cabrera. Really loving the frame of the goal here today. And well, we are into our usual substitution time. Krasniki on a yellow card. I can't quite remember who was set for a suspension coming up. I know Lowry was one, but I think there was another one. I think. I might be wrong, but I think there's some others who might be bordering on it. Mansour can come on for Krasniki though. We don't want him getting sent off in this one. Suaimi for Agyakwa, and anyone else? Mauricio, like I've previously said, would love to be able to substitute him, but well, we don't have a whole lot of options in that spot. So Ong is on a 6-5 right now. So you know what? Ong, we'll bring on Ishak for you. Can't be playing a 6-5, my friend. Cannot. We are the greatest team in the history of Malaysia. We cannot be having you having a poor game like that. Just doesn't. It's not up to our standards, you know. If they'd scored just then, that wouldn't have been up to our standards either. So, come on, lads. Let's grab a second. Let's seal the deal on this one. Penang is currently 3-0. I was about to say 2-0, but they're now 3-0 up against the Pajama City. But it's Mansour trying to build from the back. Ball up to Hakim. He tries to knock it down, but instead it's intercepted. Now, Gasly, he gets it up to Kisimbo. Kisimbo, 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. This is dangerous, thankfully. He goes for the drop goal attempt and forgets that he's playing football. So, less than 10 minutes remaining in this one. 3 minutes of additional time, I'm going to guess. 4. Okay. Okay, game. I see how it is. I see how it is. So, they've got to play down. Rashid got a bit of a knock. Ball into the back post. Oh, we couldn't make use of this opportunity as Rashid is just chilling out over with the physiotherapist on that byline. But, doesn't matter. We scrape away with a 1-0 win. We've got a loss coming for sure. We struggled against 12th place PJ City. We've now struggled against 11th place Perak. There's a bad result coming. It's one of those. I can feel it in the air. But we narrowly escaped with a victory here today. And, well, next we shall be heading to Vietnam as we play that third and final team in our group games. I believe we've already qualified, but it would be nice to have a little trip to Vietnam with you fine, ladies and gents. So, I thank you all for joining us. I hope you all have a lovely night, and goodbye.